All right. So we have another message for today. This message is not going to be like a long scripture that I'm reading out of a book or anything like that. Today, I'm probably just going to ramble on for a little bit. So just bear with me. I don't know where this is going to go, how it's going to go. I have like a couple little notes written down, like this much up top here to what I'm going to talk about. But other than that, um, and I got a little bit on this I'm going to read too. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm really counting on you, Spirit, to come through and give me some wisdom and some stuff to talk about. And to just keep this podcast going strong for people, so they find it entertaining, and also makes them call to you at the same time to come to Jesus. So I'll talk a little bit about my day first. It usually kind of gets me going, gets the juices flowing on what I want to talk about here and how things go. First things first. I had coffee this morning at the coffee bar in Bel Air, which is an awesome little spot to just kind of hang out. I felt like I was in college again today because it was like I met my guy Rick over there at like 10 o'clock this morning, and we were like the only adults in there. Everybody else was like college kids and stuff. I'm like, why are all these college kids in here today? And I'm thinking, that's right, they're home for Thanksgiving because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So they're all in there. They're on their little laptops and stuff, and like got little headphones on and everything. And it was crowded too. But we were in there. We talked. We caught up. And what was really cool is, at the end we went outside because we were like, oh my gosh, we haven't checked our meters. I wonder if the meter people got us with tickets or whatever. So, we jumped up, ran outside, grabbed our stuff, almost left my phone. That's been the my crutch today. I've been leaving my phone everywhere. So hopefully I don't leave my phone at work or something and go home or whatever. But anyway, so here comes that yawn right on schedule. Yeah, right on schedule, right about the 2 minute, 2.5 minute mark. So we go out for getting coffee. We go outside and we're talking a little bit more as we're getting ready to break up. And I look over and I see this group. I see three guys sitting at a table, and they were like, college kids, college age kids, and I see all of them, and they're like, they're in these books, and they're like, pointing to the books, and they're reading and stuff, and I'm like, those are Bibles, and I said to Rick, I go, those are Bibles, and the kids like looked up when I said that, like, oh no, here we go, something's gonna happen, and without it dropping a beat, Rick's like, are you guys reading the Bible? And they're like, yeah. And we're like, that is so awesome. Like, it's so great to see your generation, the younger generation, the generation of the future, believing in God. Like, where do you go to church? And, we started talking to them and stuff. And they go to the same church I go to and Rick goes to. And it was great. It was great. And I told him, I said, keep up the good work. I said, there's a lot of people out there who are, scared to sit out here and read a Bible because they're ashamed of it and they're just timid of being a Christian. I said, so good for you for being being out and being in public and doing it. Like, this is what it's all about, like you're setting a good example, for other people. So that made me feel good, made me feel good. So that kind of started my day. Then we actually drank coffee for so long this morning that it normally I have a break and I have time to run to my real estate office in between my appointments, and this time I didn't because I had my other Bible study, which was meeting at a different location today at the same church I go to usually on Thursday nights. They were meeting there. Come to find out, we were meeting there because the guy who runs the group, his son is in college, and he had like 20 some friends of his today that were playing football together on the field, and he was the referee for the game. So they all came in kind of to our little Bible study today. So we had our little Bible study with those guys. We had like 10 adults and I'd say 15 to 20 kids, something like that. But we all kind of went around, you know. We read we read the story of the prodigal son who got his inheritance, took off, split out of town, and blew all his money, and then had to come back crying to pops about how he blew all his money, and his dad was excited to have him home and all that stuff. My dad would never be like that. But especially if I took his money and blew it and then came home to say, "Hey, I'm back," he'd be like, "Get out of here." So, I mean, he basically said that to me without even taking his money. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine what it'd be like if he actually gave me money and then I had to get back to him. But thank God I don't have to worry about that. So, but anyway, we talked about that story. Then we talked about um, how we're thankful for what we're thankful for. So we all kind of went around. Some of the kids had a harder time. The college guys had a harder time opening up because they're not necessarily comfortable with everybody in the group yet about what we're about or what our stories are, how we're there. So we all kind of took our turns going around and saying what we were thankful for and stuff, which was nice. And then after that we kind of branched off and went out into like the lobby area for the adults, and kind of sat there and had like a 15-20 minute Bible group chat amongst us. And I gave an update of my book to everybody. So sorry, got to take a little cup of coffee there. Maybe that'll help with the yawns. But I talked about my book and how I even came to write the book in the first place, and how I was just called by God to do it, and I didn't really want to do it, but he like kind of was like, yeah, do it and put your story in it, and just keep going, with it. And he pushed me, and I got it done, and he encouraged me to do it, and I did it. So I let them know that's going to be coming out real soon. Are you going to heaven or hell? And I think that the kids today that were in there, it'd be the perfect book for them. It's not long, not too long, and it's just long enough where it keeps your attention, but it gets to the point of, are you going to heaven or hell, and gets them thinking about it. And I think that's a good age, the college age kid, to have this book in their hands. I really think that is really good to have, just to have that, in their thoughts and minds as they start to kind of become more independent and learn, more about, getting their own job and getting their money, moving out of their parents' house, that kind of thing, kind of like, don't forget about God, like that's kind of like the message, like, don't forget about God, because he's always there to help you out. But, one of the things that the guy said in group today, and he said it before, but it just stuck with me because he said it again today, was we were talking about how God, um, how God tests you, through trials and tribulations. And sometimes they're very mild, and sometimes they're very intense, and sometimes the devil even participates in it. Um, like in the story of Job, where he basically, the devil went to God and was like, I know I can turn him against you. Just let me do it. Just let me at him because I'm not good, And God was like, there's no way you're going to turn him against me. It's not going to happen. And so he let the devil test him. So he basically like, wiped his family out. He lost his kids. He had all these sores all over him. He lost all of his livestock and his animals and his cattle and his sheep and everything. And Just everything that could possibly go wrong for this guy, went wrong for this guy. But he wasn't allowed to kill him. That was the deal. Like God said, you cannot kill him. You can do anything else you want, but you can't kill him. So the devil basically did everything he could possibly do and threw everything he possibly could, because the whole idea was he wanted to get Job to curse God and say, it's all your fault. Why'd you do this to me? And basically get him to turn his back on God. And but God knew. See, God knew that Job wasn't going to do that, so he allowed it. And then until it finally got to a point where the devil basically was giving up, because he's like, I ain't got nothing else to throw at him. And so God then, repaired and restored everything, and Job got everything back. He wound up having more kids. He lived like so long, like longer than anybody else did, like by hundreds of years. And it was just a miracle, as his life turned into a miracle because of what the adversity and the testing was that he had to go through, because it was so intense. And it says, I printed out. We was kind of trying to do some Google searches whenever I want to talk about something. I always try to do some Google searches and see if I can find like scripture or something like that. And what I came up with was, there was this page that popped up. It's like Got Questions or something, and it says on it, "Why does God test us?" And it said, therefore, when God tests his children, meaning us, meaning, meaning believers, meaning those that have faith, those that have been saved, those that are his chosen children, his sons and his daughters. So therefore, when God tests his children, his purpose is to prove that our faith is real. So it's not for God, it's for us, to prove to us that our faith is real. And it says, not that God needs to prove it to himself, since he knows all things, but he is proving to us that our faith is real, that we are truly his children, and that no trial or tribulation will overcome our faith. And that is really what the point of the testing and the adversity and going through all of the things that you go through in life sometimes, when you feel like, oh man, everything bad is just happening to me at the same time. And why, why, God, why are you doing this to me? And why are you putting me through this? And why are you making me struggle like this? And why, what did I do to deserve this? And, and I look at that, and again, for me, it's comforting to know that he does it because he wants to prove to us that our faith is real. And you do that when it's over and then things get restored. And that's like where I'm at right now. Like, I mean, it is so super slow for me right now. And the real estate market is slow, and it's slow for a lot of agents. I'm not the only agent out there, and I'm doing stuff. Like, I have marketing that I've been doing. I have, some future planning that I have that I'm doing. I have some lead generation that I've been doing with paying some online companies to do some stuff for me, to try to generate business. I mean, I'm doing the right stuff. I'm headed in the right direction. But for some reason, like, I could look up and just be like, God, like, why? Like, why is it that I don't have anything right now? Like, why is it that I haven't had a check come in this month? And why Am I not going to have a check come in probably next month now because we're at the end of November, being Thanksgiving's tomorrow, and I don't have another contract wrapped up? Because in my market, when I get paid, when I wrap a deal up, I get paid like 30 days later when we go to settlement. And, when I don't have a settlement, I don't get paid. So, if I don't have a deal getting wrapped up or I don't have anything, what we'll say, on the books, like now, I'm probably not going to get paid through the rest of this year. And, I still got bills that are due. I still got mortgages that need to be paid. I still got health insurance that needs to be paid. I got cell phone bills that need to be paid. I got cable bills that need to be paid. I got, you name it. I got physical therapy bills that need to be paid. I got car insurance bills that need to be paid. I got gas that needs to be bought. I got groceries that need to be paid for. I got cash and spending money that needs to get taken out and paid for. I could just go on and 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 just say, like, God, like, why are you making me struggle? Like, I'm a good person. I do this podcast every day for you. I go to coffee with my Bible brothers. I go to my Bible studies. I go to my celebrate recoveries. I'm even going to go the day after Thanksgiving. Like I go and I support people. I help people. That's all I do with my entire life. Even when I don't have any money, I pull out the last couple dollars I have in my wallet, even though I'm not making any money right now, and I still give. And I give the celebrate recovery when they pass the basket around. I throw a couple bucks in there. When they need to support the family at church that has a kid that's not getting Christmas presents. I don't have money, but I wind up finding a way to give some money for kids that need to have Christmas presents. So it's like I do everything that I can do, and I know I'm going through this period right now where you know the difference is now I have the faith. Like, I have the faith, and I know what's going on right now. And he's just saying to me, he's saying, Mike, he's saying, here's what's going on with you right now. You just need to relax. You need to enjoy the holidays. You have enough money in the bank to take care of what you need to take care of right now. I will be taking care of you. I will be taking care of everything. I will make sure that you don't go without, and I will make sure that things are taken care of, and I will make sure that everything is taken care of for you. And my Lord, what is that music? It's just so loud and ridiculous. But I don't know, hopefully you can't hear it on the microphone because it should be isolating some of that stuff out. But I just believe that everything is going at the right place at the right time, and I'm in a place of peace. I'm in a place of joy. I am in a good place mentally. Where last year at Thanksgiving, I was not. I was a nervous wreck. I was worried about how long I was going to be around on this earth. And I'm eating my turkey, not knowing if it's going to be the last turkey I ever eat. You know, this year, I'm thankful. I'm thankful I'm here. I'm thankful that God saved me. I'm thankful that, He has just blossomed and changed my life in so many ways. And I'm thankful that I'm going through the adversity that I'm going through right now, because it's making me appreciate when I do get it back. When I finally do get things coming back, it's going to make me appreciate it that much more, because when you go without for a little while after you've already had for a long time, it definitely teaches you something. And this time I want to pass the ultimate test. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. the ultimate test is is to test the man's character, is to give the man power and wealth and influence. Then you get to see what type of person he is or she is, if it's a female. Give them power, wealth, and influence and see what they do. Do they manage it well? Do they give back? Do they give to charity? Do they manage their money well? Or are they narcissistic about it? And are they, bragging about it? And are they rubbing everybody's face in the fact that they can afford the brand new this or the brand new that? You know, because I was there. I had it all. I was the, making almost $1 million a year, can buy any car I want, can buy any suit I want, any custom suit with the signature on the sleeves, with being a member at the country clubs, with, having people clean my house, having people cut my grass, having people do everything for me, having a full-time assistant that does everything at work, paying for that, paying for everything, and just having the money to do whatever I want with, and having loan officers lined up around the block trying to get my business, taking me out to $400 dinners and, drinking wine with the CEO of their company and, all that stuff, and then just taking it for granted, and, and I did that. I let it get to my head. I let it get to my head instead of giving back more, you know, um, instead of living on less, like I could have, I just decided, well, we'll live on more, and it's not the way to go, but that's what happens. Money and power and fame and influence and everything else, it will change you as a person if you let it. And it's so hard not to get caught up in living the lifestyle and trying to catch up with the Joneses. And just look at people out there. I mean, look at some professional athletes out there, who didn't have, the key is having God, because that is how you make it through, those periods of your life where you have the fame, you have the fortune, you have the power, you have the influence, you have everything. If you have God, you can navigate through that and not lose it, and not have a fall from grace, so to speak. You know what I mean? And but if you don't have God, eventually, the devil takes over, man. He conquers you, because you start idolizing money and things and stuff and cars and houses and country club memberships and all the just superficial bunch of crap out there that means nothing, because you can't take any of it with you. You can't take any of it with you, not even a dollar. And that's why I said, when you see my casket, whenever it turns up, I want somebody to just put $1 in there so I can say I took $1 with me. I was telling somebody that today. I thought it was funny, but that's the truth. Is that there's all kinds of tests out there, and they can be small tests. It can be something little, like you're sitting in your car and here comes this hot looking woman walking out of the grocery store, and it's like, what do you do? Do you look at her? Do you think about her in a certain kind of way, or do you not do that? You know, if you see a homeless person, in your path, you're walking into a store or something, you see them sitting outside of the store with the sign that they need money or they need help or something. Like, what do you do? Do you walk up to them and give them a couple bucks? Do you walk up to them and talk to them about Jesus and God and, ask them what their name is and how long they've been there and strike up a conversation with them and, talk to them like they're a human being? Or do you do nothing? Or are you the type of person that goes into the store and asks for the manager and says, you got a homeless person out front, you need to get rid of them? You know, what do you do? That's a test. That's a test. And you'll get that test one day. Just hope that you're not the homeless person. Ah, yeah, because that could happen. That could happen. And I'll tell you what, that can happen a lot faster than you think it can happen too. Because things happen in life. People get diseases. People get hospital bills. People can't go to work. People don't make money. And the next thing they know, their house is going to foreclosure and they're living out of their van, sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. And if you haven't watched any of my past podcasts, I have somebody named Sherry that does that I'm friends with. We go and have lunch together. We have coffees together. I bought her a pizza a couple weeks ago. And she's bounced around trying to get job here, job there, but it's hard. It's hard, man. When you're homeless, it's hard, and people, have a little bit of compassion, for these people. Not all of them are alcoholics and drug addicts, and even the ones that are, you know, they haven't given up on the world. They're just in a really bad spot. And what would you do if you were in that spot? You'd probably do drugs too. You'd probably drink too. You know? It's no different than you going to the Ravens game and getting drunk. They're doing it too. They're just not going to the Ravens game because they can't afford it. Eh, it's the same thing. They're getting drunk. You're getting drunk. You're no different than they are. You just have money. Ever think about it like that? See? You don't. But they're people. They're people out there. And where are they going to be for Thanksgiving? One of the guys in my Bible group, we worry about him because he doesn't live the best life, and he always needs money for stuff. And one of my buddies had to fill his tank up today with gas and stuff because he was out of cash again. And but he knows that somehow the Lord's just going to do it, and He's going to find a way. He's like, if I got to stand at that gas pump for 4 hours, I'll stand there and tell people I got 1 bar of gas. Can you give me $1? And he said, I'll stand there until I get $15 so I can fill it up, and he'll do it. And he doesn't have a problem with that. And and more power to him. I mean, that's not the way I try to live my life, but he believes that people out there will take care of him because he takes care of other people, and he does. For Thanksgiving tomorrow, he's having Thanksgiving at the pastor's house, and then he's going to deliver Thanksgiving to the homeless people in the woods. That's what he's doing tomorrow. You know, this is what living like Jesus looks like. There's real people out here that do this kind of stuff, and it's about giving back. It's about helping others, especially when they're down. And those are tests. They're tests. God's always testing. So when you think you don't know why stuff's going on, you just gotta have faith. That's what's going to pull you out of it. Is your faith is going to pull you out, knowing that you're going through something for a reason. There's a reason that you're going through it. You just may not understand it. You may not be able to put it together. Not right now because you're in it. But you'll know later, you'll learn and grow from what you went through. And like I said, like this is starting to teach me now when I do finally start making money again and I do finally start having good things happen, which will happen. I know it will, eventually, I'm going to not forget this time. And I'm not going to forget how valuable things are in terms of dollars and bills and what the power of money can do, not just for me, but for me helping other people. You know, if I wind up making $1 million, I can guarantee I'm giving away a hell of a lot more than I did when I made it when I was younger in my 30s, because I didn't give away much. I just kept buying more and more stuff, man. Houses, flipping stuff, beach properties, rental properties, opening companies, and just more and more. It was all for me. I was my mistake. My mistake was not giving it back. And my mistake was not having God to guide me. See, if I'd have had God, He would have guided me and I would have been fine. Everything would have been perfect. But no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Because I thought I was God myself and I didn't need God and I could do what I wanted to and I could get high when I wanted to and I could drink when I wanted to, and nobody was going to tell me how to do anything because I was the man. And it changed me completely. And now God has changed me completely. And I am the complete opposite of what I used to be, which I love. I love being humble and having humility and having compassion for others and loving others, caring for others, and caring for myself too, and just loving life and loving the fact that I woke up today. That's what it's about. So, well, we're out of time. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And give me some likes, give me some thumbs ups, give me some comments, give me some shares. And I will talk to you soon. Roll Don's roll, beat the hall, and enjoy watching Turkey Bowl tomorrow, everybody. See you. Bye.